Imagine this. You're enjoying your morning coffee, minding your own business, when a cop embarrasses you in public. And out of nowhere, Will Smith shows up to defend you. No, this isn't a movie. This actually happened, and you're about to hear the full story. Don't forget to watch till the end and subscribe. Make you comment where you are watching from. The calm before the chaos. The city was alive that morning, a familiar symphony of car horns, chatter, and the smell of freshly brewed coffee drifting through the streets. Maria, 28 and visibly pregnant, sat on the small patio of her favorite cafe, cradling her growing belly with one hand while scrolling through her phone with the other. She sighed, taking a slow sip of her latte. 10 more minutes, then off to the doctor, she murmured, hoping to enjoy a few moments of calm before the chaos of the day. Across the street, Officer Thomas noticed her. Mid-40s, broad-shouldered, with the kind of rigid posture that seemed to scream, "Follow the rules or else," he frowned. Sidewalk regulations, he muttered, narrowing his eyes. His boots clicked sharply against the pavement as he approached Maria. "Ma'am," he said, voice firm, "you can't just sit here blocking pedestrian traffic. You need to move along." Maria jumped slightly, nearly spilling her coffee. "Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I didn't realize." "No excuses," he snapped. "Sidewalks are for walking, not lounging." Embarrassment crept across Maria's cheeks. She began packing up her things, wincing slightly as a twinge of discomfort ran through her pregnancy. Pedestrians nearby slowed their steps, some whispering to each other, others subtly filming the interaction with their phones. Maria tried to explain softly. "Officer, I'm pregnant, sitting for a few minutes." "Pregnant or not, the law is the law," he interrupted sharply, leaving no room for discussion. She flinched, feeling the weight of all those eyes on her. The murmurs of the small crowd grew louder, some disapproving, some just curious. Just as Maria felt her confidence drain away, the familiar hum of an engine turned heads. A sleek black SUV rolled to a stop nearby, catching the sunlight with a reflective gleam. Out stepped Will Smith, sunglasses on, moving with the casual confidence of someone who could command a room without raising his voice. "Hey, what's going on here?" he called out, immediately drawing the attention of the small crowd. Officer Thomas stiffened, suddenly aware that the situation had escalated beyond his usual authority. "Oh, nothing, sir. Just enforcing regulations," he muttered, his voice uneven. Will's gaze softened as it landed on Maria. "You okay, ma'am?" he asked. Maria, still embarrassed but relieved to see someone intervene, whispered, I'm fine. Just, sitting for a few minutes." "Regulations?" Will said, his tone calm but edged with incredulity. He turned toward Officer Thomas, a subtle smile playing on his lips. "Look at her. She's pregnant, clearly uncomfortable, and you're making her move? Really?" The murmurs of approval from the crowd grew, several people raising their phones to capture the moment. Officer Thomas's shoulders stiffened, words catching in his throat. I'm just enforcing the law." Will shook his head gently, eyes steady. "Your job is to protect, not humiliate. And right now, you're failing that test." Maria exhaled, relief washing over her. What had started as a humiliating, tense moment on a sunny city morning now had an unlikely savior standing in her corner, challenging authority with nothing but calm words and a magnetic presence. The crowd continued to murmur, some clapping softly, others whispering excitedly to friends nearby. Maria, still clutching her bag, felt her shoulders finally relax. She looked at Will Smith, awe in her eyes. "Thank you. I didn't expect anyone to stand up like that." "No problem," he replied warmly, a playful grin tugging at his lips. "Always got to stand up for the little guy, or the little life in this case." The city street had returned to motion, but something had shifted. Pedestrians walked by with a renewed sense of respect, some shaking their heads in disbelief at the audacity of the encounter. Maria knew this morning would be remembered, not for the embarrassment, but for the unexpected kindness that turned it all around. Tension rising. After Will stepped in, the crowd lingered, buzzing with excitement. Some recorded the scene, whispering to each other, while others debated the officer's behavior. Maria, still sitting, felt a mixture of relief and lingering embarrassment. Her morning had gone from calm to humiliating in seconds, and then to surreal when a Hollywood star intervened. Officer Thomas retreated a few steps, trying to regain composure. He adjusted his uniform collar, muttering under his breath, I'm just doing my job." Will Smith's gaze never left him. Doing your job doesn't mean ignoring empathy. You're supposed to protect people, not make them feel small. Do you understand? The officer swallowed hard, caught off guard by the directness of the statement. "Why, yes, sir." The crowd's murmurs grew louder. People were live-streaming the interaction, and every word the officer said would be captured forever online. The realization of public scrutiny hit him like a wave. Maria looked up at Will Smith, her eyes brimming with gratitude. "I thank you. I don't even know what to say." Will smiled warmly. "You don't have to say anything. Just take care of yourself, okay?" The situation had diffused, but the tension was far from over. Officer Thomas's ego was bruised, and the presence of a celebrity highlighting his misstep made the embarrassment sting even more. He shifted his weight from one foot to the other, avoiding eye contact with the crowd. Will Smith turned back to Maria, speaking more softly now. "Sometimes people forget that a little kindness goes a long way. You don't need fame or authority to stand up for someone, but it helps." Maria chuckled lightly, shaking her head. "Yeah, I guess it does when it's you." The murmuring crowd had begun to disperse, but the story was already spreading on social media. Within minutes, videos of the encounter were uploaded with captions like, "Pregnant woman humiliated by cop. Will Smith steps in." Comments and reactions flooded in almost immediately. Finally, someone with common sense. Will Smith really is the hero we deserve. Officer Thomas needs a lesson in humanity. Officer Thomas, still flustered, muttered under his breath as he walked back toward his car. "Maybe I went too far. Maybe I should have handled that differently." Maria, holding her bag and cradling her belly, took a deep breath. She felt the relief of having someone stand up for her, someone who understood that sometimes humanity matters more than the rules. Will Smith gave a casual wave before returning to his SUV, the crowd watching him go, still buzzing from the morning's drama. Maria smiled, thinking to herself, maybe this morning wasn't so bad after all. The ripple effect. By the afternoon, the story had gone viral. Clips of the encounter were shared on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. People debated Officer Thomas's actions, praised Will Smith's intervention, and celebrated Maria's resilience. Even strangers who had not witnessed the event firsthand felt a personal connection to the story. They shared it, commented on it, and posted their own thoughts. This is exactly the kind of kindness we need more of. Imagine if everyone stood up for someone like Will Smith did today. Maria, meanwhile, sat at home reflecting on the morning's events. The embarrassment she had felt seemed almost trivial now, overshadowed by the lesson she had witnessed. She realized that courage could come in many forms, sometimes loud and direct, sometimes quiet but firm, and sometimes with a smile and sunglasses. Officer Thomas reviewed the videos himself, each view a growing lesson in humility. He could see the impact his actions had caused, both to Maria and to public perception. "I need to rethink how I approach my job," he whispered to himself, a newfound awareness settling in. Resolution. A few days later, Maria received messages from people who had seen the video online. Some offered kind words, others shared their own similar experiences. She realized that a single act of standing up, by someone she barely knew, someone famous even, could ripple across countless lives. Will Smith, oblivious to the social media storm, had simply done what he felt was right. He didn't need recognition. He didn't need praise. He just saw someone in need and acted. Maria thought back to that moment repeatedly. The tension, the embarrassment, the sudden relief, and finally, the sense of justice restored. That morning had begun with a cup of coffee, escalated into public humiliation, and ended with a reminder that sometimes heroes appear where you least expect them. Lessons learned. The story of that morning became more than just a viral clip. It became a lesson. Empathy matters. Respect matters, and standing up for someone, even if it's just a small act, can make a difference that echoes far beyond the immediate moment. Maria, smiling as she shared her story online, realized that this wasn't about Will Smith's fame. It was about humanity, about people paying attention to each other, and about the courage to act when something feels wrong. Even Officer Thomas, in quiet reflection, had learned the hardest lesson. Enforcing rules without compassion can never truly serve justice. And so the city moved on, but for those who had witnessed it or seen it online, it was a story they wouldn't forget.